Bro, this market's freaking crazy right now. What's up, guys? I wish I was still bored, but I'm not. Yesterday, we got a pump from the markets yesterday, and we just fully retraced it today. So it's kind of like nothing ever changed since Friday. Yeah, man, it's like nothing ever changed since Friday, bro. So it's like we reversed the whole weekend, and we basically this weekend didn't exist. Just act like this weekend didn't exist, man. What's up, Chris? Liam, what's up, man? Hawaii Beaches, Jim, Passive, TaylorMade. You guys are making some jokes. Hashtag bring back Kamala. I wouldn't go that far. I was kidding when I said that in the chat, by the way. Ant Farms, Hose, Merlin, Chris. We already have Javier. What's up, man? Anyways, let's talk some Bitcoin. Let's talk some altcoins, man. We got some crazy volatility after being really, really boring for like 3 months. We now have some like crazy price action. So a little bit fun to talk about. And I think we got some stuff to talk about today. And some points where I'm looking at, like, we got some must hold points where I want to see some things hold, or it's going to get a little bit weird and whatnot. So smack the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get it. We obviously got to start with the corn. By the way, you guys all know the news. I don't really want to talk about the news, honestly. I think the news is irrelevant. I know all the news, okay? So before we even get into the charts and shit, which I think is the most important thing to get into, I guess we should talk about the news real quick and then kind of segue away from the news. But obviously yesterday we had big pump because, I mean, unless you live under a rock, Trump said that they're going to include XRP, Cardano, Solana, amongst other altcoins in the strategic reserve. So that got like markets all horny and shit, on a Sunday, of course. And, you saw Cardano go up 60%, XRP was up 30%. Most altcoins were up between 10 and 20% yesterday. And then they fully retraced the move today. Right back down, right? So, most things kind of fully retraced the move that they had yesterday, all right? Except, obviously the ones like Cardano was up 60%. I mean, it was down like 30% today. Retraced half the move, but most of the rest of the market kind of retraced the whole move that they had yesterday. If not, actually even went lower than they were yesterday. So yeah, that's what we got going on right now in the markets. Now, obviously, like, that leads us into what's coming up on Friday, right? So before we talk about the charts, what's coming up on Friday is the Trump to host first White House crypto summit on March 7th. So this is in 4 days. I want to see what the market does before this. I think it's going to be interesting to happen. What happens in the next 5 days or so. But we'll get more into that when we get into the charts. But we'll see what happens with this, man. I don't know, man. Like, it's one of those things that, this price action kind of reminds me of. And if you were here in 2023, it reminds me a lot of one particular point in 2023. If you guys can guess it in the chat, which kind of point it reminds you of in 2023, let me know. And I think there's a really, really good like invalidation point where we say, okay, if this breaks, things are not looking too good. I mean, as it stands, right? So, we'll look at that today too. But there's one point in 2023 where this price action reminds me a lot of this big pump and dump on BTC, which obviously had a big pump and dump on the altcoins. Reminds me of one point. If you let me know which one in the chat it reminds me of, just let me know. But anyways, we're gonna start with Bitcoin. So obviously Bitcoin, I uploaded a video, I think on Friday, because there wasn't that much to update honestly last week, but that we didn't talk about in the stream we did last week. But obviously now I made a video on Friday, and I thought Bitcoin was going to bounce from this 0.5 fib. All right, so we actually got a nice bounce. We actually went from 79 all the way up to 795, but we rejected, unfortunately, right? If you just kind of look at this from the short-term perspective, We rejected from these lows, right? We kind of bearish back tested the lows and we coming back down. The way I'm looking at Bitcoin right now is if you kind of just look at Bitcoin in this whole bull run, right? At least in these big sideways periods, like right here and right here, we did double tap this trend line, and this trend line might be useless. It may not be useless, but I think it will be relevant in the next couple days probably, because I think Bitcoin is going to test it. But you can see 2 taps here. We bring it up. We also had 2 taps here. And we did not hit it yet. All right. We did not hit this freaking trend line yet. All right. Which makes me think that over the next couple days, it wouldn't surprise me if Bitcoin comes down and taps this trend line. All right. And that's going to be, kind of an interesting thing, because the 0.5 FIB is right there. We'll talk about why that's important. And also this trend line's coming in right here, right in the middle of March. Why is that important? Well, I mean, I think it's kind of self-explanatory. I think if Bitcoin's going to continue up, I think you want it to see it continue up in a more in this like parabolic way and not dump below this. If it dumps below this, it's a little bit interesting, I think. That makes things much more interesting for all of us sitting here, contemplating whether the market's going to go higher or not, right? So that's like a level that I'm watching is in the next couple days, do we see this whole move up off the 0.5 FIB, come all the way back down, and come in and tap this trend line again? All right, wouldn't shock me if we did that. And will we hold it? That's going to be the question. But why is that 0.5 FIB important? Well, the 0.5 FIB is from this low to this high. We can see we bounce from there. If we look at the last consolidation from this low to this high, the 0.5 FIB was the low, right? So the 0.5 Fibonacci was the low right there, and it was the trend line. So the trend line and the 0.5 FIB was the bottom. So is it a coincidence now that, from the low to the high, the 0.5 FIB is coming in right around here, and, it's like intersecting right in the middle of March? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Who freaking knows? But, big levels coming up on Bitcoin, and we'll talk about total market cap too, which, total market caps, look at a little sketch, but, we'll talk about total market cap too. But, yeah, what does this price actually remind me of so far? Well, at least right now, until this trend line breaks, I still remain somewhat bullish on Bitcoin until this trend line breaks. But this price actually reminds me of down here, this little period right here. All right, you guys remember the fake ETF tweet? You guys remember that shit? I remember that shit to this day. It was a great time. It was a great time to be alive. It was a boring time to be alive, but it was a great time to be alive over here in the summer of 2023. Let me know if you're in the market in the summer of 2023. But we had this giant move up, right? So we had a big capitulation, kind of similar to what we just did. And then we had this giant green day, which went up 9% on BTC. And then basically just retraced the whole thing and actually went lower within the next few days, right? So, and then basically what it was there was, okay, fake ETF, right? And then what ended up happening was we ended up actually coming down, testing this trend line, and then eventually moving up off of it, but it was a slow process. What if we do something similar to that now, right? Just bear with me for a sec. We capitulated. What if we do something similar? Assuming we hold. If we don't hold the line, it's a different story, but let's say, obviously it's not going to be one-to-one. But let's say this was a big pump and dump, right? Big old pumpy dumpy, sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a big fall. Let's say we do something like this, right? Which would kind of be AIDS, right? Big capitulation, big pump and dump. We actually come back down. We actually take out the low into this trend line in here. What if we do something like that? Right? And I think that might even correlate to Friday, which is that this, right? Trump to host the first White House crypto summit on March 7th. What if that's actually ends up being the low point, or it actually ends up being the final low where people capitulate because he didn't say something that people wanted to do, right? That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. It reminds me a lot of that period where it's kind of like the sentiment's freaking shit, right? We're at a 15 on extreme fear. Dude, why do they keep showing me these hats? Because my girl wants one of these hats, dude. My girl wants the Boston hat that says like this, but it's blue. If anyone out there can find it, it's literally this one, but it's blue. You would be the freaking stud. I can't find it anywhere. Literally can't find it anywhere, though. But I keep getting these freaking hats, ads popping up literally everywhere I go, dude. But yeah, so that's kind of the thing for BTC at the moment is we're still holding up in here, right? We're super volatile right now. And the way I'm looking at it is as long as we hold in here, right, all is good in the world. If we start breaking down, then it's starting to look like ETH. And we don't want it to look like ETH, okay? ETH is ETH is its own freaking thing right now. But yeah, that's Bitcoin, guys. I think, could we chop around in here for a bit? Yes. I think we could chop around. And honestly, I personally don't see us just completely mooning. And I hope I'm wrong, obviously. I'd be ready if we just completely mooned, whatever. But I just don't see us doing this until we eventually hit this, right? Or even sweep it. So in my opinion, what I think we see over the next few days, possibly another week or two, hopefully not. Hopefully it's just a few days. I wouldn't be surprised if we come chopping here, back down, at least down to these lows, maybe even take out the lows, and then maybe try to build up from there. That's my guess. I could be wrong. I hope we just moon. But, I think it makes more sense for us to come down in here and test like the high 70Ks again before we get any type of positive shit right now. So that's BTC. But like I said, seriously, if any of you guys could find that blue hat, that would be dope. We need that blue hat, bro. We need that blue. We need that Boston blue hat because it's dope. It's freaking dope. Let's see. You guys are funny, man. Everyone's funny in the chat. Too much bearishness. I'm buying all your losing bags. Doc says 69K is not far from 65, so back the hell off and chill. Yeah, I mean, like a 65 is not impossible. The way I see it is this, right? I think if you're a bull, I think you want to see this hold up. I mean, could it go lower than this? Yeah. I mean, I could see if we bring up the golden pocket, that's like in the 70K to 72K. Could you wick into there? I think so. All right, it's the previous tops. It's the golden pocket. Would it be impossible for you to wick into there? No, it wouldn't be impossible. I mean, that could be a very, very quick move. That like just happens very, very quickly if people capitulate, right? It's not impossible for that to happen. I don't think you want to go lower than that, though. I think if you go lower than that, you're really testing luck, because then you're back down in this old range, and this was just one big deviation of the highs. So in my opinion, I think you want to hold either the 0.5 fib in here, or maybe get a wick down to this golden pocket. I don't think you want to go lower than that. I think if you go lower than that, it's looking a little shady. It's looking slightly shady. Anyways, let's go talk about total market cap. Oh man, we're holding on by a freaking thread. Man, we're holding on by a thread, guys. We are holding on by a thread, dude. It was looking good yesterday. We had a weekly that came all the way down, wicked below here, closed back above the green box. And then look at today. Look at today, bro. They teased us with the hammer. They teased us with the hammer and then brought down the hammer right back down to the bottom of the green box. So once again, we are, we've had multiple weeks of testing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, all holding. Now we have another week down here. Will this week, and the answer could be yes or no. I don't freaking know. I don't got a crystal ball. I just know if this breaks, it's a little shady. I'm not going to lie. It's a little shady. Definitely a little shady. I'm not going to lie if this breaks. But will this weekly candle end up like this weekly candle or this weekly candle where this is just one wick at the end of the week? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Because if we do break down from this, we already broke below the 2021 top. If we break back below the March high, once again, that was kind of one of the points where I said it's looking a little shady if we break back below that 2021 top on a weekly close. Wicks are fine, but not on a close. So what I really want to see this week is if we're going to go below here, just be a wick. Just be a wick. Don't close any candles down here, bro. No bueno close below those highs. All right, so we'll see at the end of the week. Once again, last week looked horrible. Last week looked like shit until right at the end of the week where we closed all the way back up. All right, will this week be similar where the beginning of the week is shitty and we close the week back up here? Or will we go tumbling down and close below here and look a little shady? That's the question of the century. And you got to make a decision for yourself which one you think will happen. All right. But yeah, that's the total market cap. ETH looks like shit. There's nothing else to say about this freaking coin, man. All right. And I guess it's most altcoins. But man, this is the exact, what I'm trying to explain of why we don't want Bitcoin to break down. Because ETH broke down from this, and that was kind of one of the things where okay, we see ETH break down from this trend that's looking a little shady, dude. That's looking a little shady, man. It's looking a little shady. It is what it is. So I don't know, man. We're starting to lose this support too. I don't know. When I just look at ETH, I think the thing with ETH, I guess, is even though we had that strategic reserve announcement yesterday, it did not really move like, XRP did or Cardano did or some of the other ones. It pumped, but it wasn't with the same oomph that those other ones had. Where the other ones almost got back to their highs, right? ADA almost got back to the highs. XRP almost got back to the highs, right? A lot of the other fundamental coins or utility coins, which we've been talking about, which I still think utility coins, if you're going to own altcoins, are the play this year. It just did not have the oomph, man. ETH just kind of oh man. This. I don't think you can look at this chart and I we could say one thing where, okay, it's low, right? So, we get a little shady on it when it's low. I don't want to be that guy that's like, okay, look, it's down, so it looks like shit. But I don't know. To me, this just does not look. I wanted to see this hold, and it didn't hold. And that's why when I go to Bitcoin, I want to see this hold, right? I don't want to see this breakdown. I want to see Bitcoin hold this too. Because ETH didn't hold it, and it's pretty much been down only since then. So when I look at ETH, man, I really hope it holds in this area here. I'd say it really got to hold in here, man. All these tops, all right? Hold 1900, But it looks like it wants to go to like 1900. And that probably would be with Bitcoin going a little bit lower in here or chopping sideways. Probably going to get ETH back down to that level. And I think you really want to see ETH hold that level or it's not looking too good for ETH right now. It's just not. I mean, whatever way you look at it, it's cliff dwelling, man. It's cliff dwelling at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's ETH. I can't get anything constructive ETH. I think it's going to hit this level before it even attempts to bounce. Kind of like how Bitcoin, I think it's going to hit this level before it attempts to bounce. It is what it is, man. I think it's just going to take some patience. Or, waiting till a little bit lower if you want to. What else, man? What else? Should we talk about XRP? Dude, what a pump and dump, man. What a freaking pump and dump. Lord almighty, man. Dude, teasing us, dude. Literally teasing us of the breakout. Yeah, I mean, XRP, I don't know, man. Like, these pump and dumps are just crazy. The reason why I can't get, like, too overly emotional about these pump and dumps is because we've seen these before. And we have seen these before. We've seen these for Bitcoin before, and they've actually resolved higher. But usually when you get these big pump and dumps, unfortunately, you probably need to see at least some chop. Which, at the very least, some chop is my guess. I mean, this is just like, all right, 7th comes around, we got the Trump, summit, which I'm a little skeptical of, I'm not going to lie. Like, and I don't know if it's the market doing this, man. I don't know. Does any of you guys feel the same way right now? And maybe it's just the feeling, but the way the market feels right now, man, it's like every positive news event just gets sold off, dude. And it just makes you question, a lot of the things, because we always say, okay, if you don't dump on bad news, that means you're bullish, right? But if you don't pump on good news, what does that mean, right? And I think, we can be biased and whatnot, but, dude, we've had everything that we've wanted for altcoins literally happened in the last 3 months, right? Think about it. And this is what blows my mind. We've literally had every single thing possible we've wanted for altcoins in the past 3 months, right? We literally are having the president of the United States saying that he is going to try to buy altcoins, right, with government money. Like, can you get more bullish news than that? I don't know if you can, right? All these SEC cases being dropped, right? It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, right? If good news does not pump you, what does that mean, right? Makes you think. It makes you if you're just not being biased, right? I can sit up here and be biased and say, like, this is good. But I think at the very least, I'm just kind of looking at, like, using XRP as an example. I would think that we probably need to chop in here again. If this is just like Anderson said in the chat, shout out to Anderson. If it's just like a big psyop, right? Which it could be. You don't know, right? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But yeah, man. And I think it all comes down to this, guys. I mean, we've talked about this multiple times. I've made a bunch of videos on this. Altcoins, right? News is news. But what really makes altcoins pump and dump? Like, you guys know, right? You guys have been around this space more, a lot. What really makes altcoins pump and dump? Let's just bring up total 3. What really makes altcoins pump and dump is just global liquidity, right? I mean, we all know this. It's like we all know this. We really do. right? Global liquidity goes up, altcoins go up. Global liquidity goes up, altcoins go up. Global liquidity goes up, altcoins go up. Global liquidity goes down, bear market. Global liquidity goes down, bear market. Right? Global liquidity goes down, bear market. Global liquidity goes up, bull. Sideways bear. Up, bull. Right? I mean, it's kind of like that. But what we've seen over the last 6 months is global liquidity has actually been trending down. It's been coming up a little bit recently, but it's really been trending down. And I think the problem, it's not really a problem, but I think over these next few months, like it's going to be a huge turning point for markets. Like, are these markets going to do enough to change things, right? Because we're actually, for the first time in a while, which is kind of weird too, is the stock market follows this too, by the way. But for the first time in a while, dude, you just get rid of this. We're actually starting to get the stock market starting to come down, right? For really the biggest time, for the first time since like the middle of last year. So can we get these stocks to come down without crushing crypto too much, which is always an oxymoron. I don't know if we can, but can we get these stocks to come down enough to spook, you know, maybe the Fed, right? To spook the Fed and whatnot. Maybe we can. Maybe we can. I mean, for the first time in a while, we're starting to see a little bit of a downtrend starting in the stock market. I mean, we're only down. Actually, Nasdaq's down almost 9%. It's actually not that small for stocks. You don't really get that too often. Here you had a 15%. Here you had 11%. Can you get this down enough for like to spook the markets? I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. And when I draw stuff like this, I don't know, man. Like when I draw stuff like this, it's a little bit interesting, man. This is the NASDAQ. That's the NASDAQ, man. Can you spook? Can you get a little spooky? A little spookiness in the markets. A scare. I don't know if you can. Without like killing everything else. I don't know. But yeah, that's that, guys. I mean, overall, I think, you know, Bitcoin, got to hold this trend line for Bitcoin. Total market cap. Really want to hold this, man. I've said it. If we break this below this, that's not the best sign for at least right now. So I really, really want to hold this for total market cap, guys. Really, really want to hold this. We're right at the bottom. We were also at the, you know, below this last week. So it's not the end of the world, but really want to see this weekly close above this. ETH already broke down, which we've said, you know, if ETH breaks down, maybe that's a warning sign for the market. ETH already broke down. But for me, at least, watching this next week or two to see if Bitcoin can form some type of low in this zone. Right? Not overreacting. I'm not going to overreact when it comes to my Bitcoin spot. Really want to see if Bitcoin can form some type of low over the next week or two. Something like this would be preferable. Something like this. We'll keep the squiggle here. We'll keep the squiggle. Come tap this trend line. Probably means a little bit more, you know, weakness out of stocks and, you know, probably alts too. But see if we can do this. If we start to break down, you know, from this and this, you know, maybe it follows the same path as ETH. We'll have to see, right? But that's kind of like, I told you guys, that's kind of like where I'm going to draw the line. Is if, you know, we see Bitcoin break down from this, we see total market cap close below this, I will at least short term, I have to change my stance a little bit because that's what I've said. That's what I told myself that I would do. But as of right now, we're above. God is good. All right, we're above. And yeah, we're in extreme fear, man. So it's hard for me to sit here and be uber bearish when we're in extreme fear. You know, I don't want to be uber bearish when we're in extreme fear. And I'm not going to be uber bearish when we're in extreme fear when we're still above levels that are important. So let's see what happens, man. This sketches me out a little bit. I'm not going to lie for the short term, right? You know, if you want my honest opinion, guys, this, I don't know what to think about this. And maybe, like I said, maybe we just been psyoped for the past couple of months, thinking every possible bullish crypto thing is bearish. Every single time we have a bullish news event, it pumps and then it instantly dumps, right? So I'm a little bit skeptical with this. You guys remember when they had the meeting last time and all they talked about was stable coins. Market plummeted, right? What else happened? Trump signing executive orders. Did not do the Bitcoin strategic reserve right away. Dump. Just Sunday, right? Altcoin strategic reserve. Pump. Dump. So I guess I'm a little bit skeptical with this on Friday. I guess that's just the skeptical in me, and maybe it's, you know, they're warming us up to be skeptical of these things. But we'll see what happens with this on Friday, man. I think either way, it's, if you're a fan of crypto, like there's so many good things going on for the future. If you're a fan of like actual use case of crypto, there's so many good things happening right now. For price, we'll kind of see. But that's coming up on Friday, fellas. So we'll see what happens with that. You hold dog shit, said Lieutenant Dan Dangle. Holy Nikes. Hold on. My camera is blurry. There we go. Anyways, I'm going to hop in the chat. We'll talk a little bit, and we'll kind of go from there, guys. Hold on. Dude, what the hell? You guys probably want this to be a little blurry. Oh, what the fuck, man? We got to update this. This is not what we need right now. We need a clear picture of myself. Yeah, we'll hop in the chat. We'll talk for a little bit, guys. But that's mostly it, man. I think it's pretty self-explanatory right now that we're in like a very important spot, right? I think it's self-explanatory that the market is in a very, very important position right now. What the frick? What in the world? I'm trying to fix this camera, man. It's like freezing. Hoff, so this has been uplifting. Oh, man. He said this has been uplifting. Well, I mean, there's only much uplifting you can do, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we got to see this hold. Bro. I mean, it's not like we have to. I mean, we could do what Bitcoin does and dump below and just insta pump. Would you be shocked? No, we've seen that before. But I don't know. Let's see what happens. Unemployment is probably high on the report. Dude, unemployment's gotta come in high, dude. Unemployment has to come in high. Anyone that I've talked to says it is very, very hard to find a job or a job that they want, right? So I don't know where this like job market thing is, but like anyone that I've talked to or anyone, you know, that I know that is looking for a job or has been looking for a job says it is hard to find a job that they want, right? So I don't think that the job numbers are accurate. I think the job market is much, much worse than what they're letting you know. But the good thing is with this Doge shit that they're doing is they're going to be hopefully getting rid of a lot of these government jobs that are making it look better than it actually is. But yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see, dude. We shall see. Sammy P said, I'm going off 4 months. This cycle's been hilarious. I think what will make this cycle just hilarious is, it kind of being the same as every cycle, it takes a little bit longer, right? I mean, right now the thinking right now is just so altcoins will never have an alt season again, right? That is just the prominent thinking now, and I think it just stems from no money printer, right? And I wouldn't bank on the money printer coming, man. I mean, that is a very rare thing. It's just what we've seen in the cycles is we've seen the money printer come on around this time, right? So like the general thinking is we'll get that again around this time for some odd reason. But also what we have to remember, guys, about the money printer is a lot of times I just turned off the camera. I'm going UFO mode. I'm going UFO mode. A lot of times with the money printer, guys, everyone talks about they want the money printer. To get the money printer, bro, you usually have to, there has to be some pain first. So we talk about, okay, money printer coming on. They're going to start the printer. Zippo, right? There usually got to be some pain first. So you want the printer, Bitcoin's probably got to do this. If you want the damn printer, right? And then the printer comes. Right? I will tell you right now, there will be no money printer, at least in my opinion, with the stock market up here. You want the money printer, bro? You got to see the NASDAQ down here, dude. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the thing is it's I believe, and I've said this many times, is I think if there's going to be an altcoin season this cycle, it's not the money printer that's going to cause it. In my opinion, it's going to be utility coins pumping, right? Kind of like we just saw the other day, just it kind of started, but then it dumped off. I think it's going to do it again eventually. But if we're going to see an altcoin season again, it's going to be these utility coins, right? The ones that, that have been doing well since Trump has been in. Kind of having an altcoin season. And then everything else really not doing much. Because of some type of, utility, one coin actually being used, which makes everyone speculate on which one's going to be used. Whether it's XRP, whether it's Chainlink, whether it's, Cardano, whether it's, any one of these coins. My opinion, the altcoin season will happen this time because of adoption, because of one altcoin getting used, and regulations actually being in place, not because of the money printer this time. If it's because of the money printer, we probably have to dump first. You know what I'm saying? And that's not fun. But if you want a real altcoin season where everything pumps, guess what, guys? It's probably going to be coming from a lower price, right? It's probably going to be coming from a lower price. But if you want an altcoin season where everything pumps and everything doesn't have to dump, you want it to be because something's getting used and everyone just starts going you know what? I think Chainlink's going to be next. I think XRP's going to be next. I think Cardano's going to be next, right? Rather than just being okay, I got a stimmy, I'm throwing it in the market. That's what I think will happen at some point this year. I could be wrong about that. If I am, it is what it is. But, yeah, man. We would talk about money printing. I don't think we want money printing, man. Money printing means something really, really bad happened. And your portfolio will probably go down another 70, 80% before you even got that money printing, man. You know what I'm saying? Dang. 2% inflation is measured yearly. Dude, in my opinion, dude, I really think that the economy's worse than they're letting. Like, if you want to talk like weird economy shit, I really think the economy's worse than they're letting on. I think inflation is fine at like 2-3%, but I think unemployment, like the job market is not as good as they think it is. It's not as good as they think it is. In the sense that, okay, maybe a lot of people are unemployed, but a lot of people don't have the jobs that they want, right? They might be working at a different job that they don't want for a much lower pay, but still technically be employed, right? There's probably a lot of people out there right now that are working a job they don't want to work at, making less money than they want to work, when they want to make, but they're doing it because they have to, right? I mean, it is what it is. And eventually that'll come into light, but it might take some time. It might take some time for that to happen. Franco said I'd buy Pepe, to be honest. Pepe. He'd buy Pepe and the bear. Dude, I don't think, I have a feeling after this bull run is over, or when the real bear is here, dude, I think meme coins will be extinct. I think they will be extinct, bro. I think this cycle exposed the memes, dude. I've been saying since January, I think memes are cooked. Cooked. I don't think memes are coming back. This cycle cooked the memes, dude. I really think, dude, Trump launching his meme coin was the meme coin killer, dude. How can you top that? You can't top the President of the United States launching a meme, dude. You can't do that. You know what I mean? You reached peak attentiveness. There's no way you can top Trump launching a meme coin, dude. There's literally zero way. Literally zero way. I'll also make a case that I think Solana's top is in my opinion. Maybe that means other altcoin tops are in too, but I think Sol's top is in too. You literally can't top that. You can't. It's impossible, dude. Long as we'll keep. Yeah, I mean, memes, you'll obviously get some memes that pump. I just hope we can go back to the old days where you get it's a cool thing where you get one meme that's pumping at a time. Dude, when Pepe was having these runs, it was fun as hell because everyone was talking about Pepe, right? When you had Bonk having its run, can't see it on the chart, it was fun because Bonk was pumping, right? When you had Whiff going on its run, it was fun because Whiff was pumping, right? Everyone was talking about one coin. Now it's just, when it comes to the memes, and I don't even know why we're talking about memes, just because I really don't think that memes are coming back, in my personal opinion. But now it's just, dude, I mean, people just hop on a new meme every day. And it's not like that fun thing where you're just watching that one meme coin pump, dude. If you guys remember in 2021, dude, watching Doge go up was fun as shit, dude. Shib, even though I was a Shib hater at the time. I was totally a Shib hater, bro. But that was cool. Watch everyone kind of form a little community, pumping Shib up. You just don't have that anymore, man. Now you get Fart Coin pumping for 2 weeks, and then they move on to Fart Boy, and then it's Fart Girl. You know what I mean? It's there's no camaraderie. It's just extractive, man. And I guess it is what it is. But yeah. Crypto, despite all the good fundamental developments, is still a meme. That is true. I think until you get any altcoin that's getting used in the real world, everything's kind of a meme. I mean, I kind of agree with that. I think we're getting there. We're getting everything that we want. Dude, I mean, we've gotten everything we want, man. I mean, We've had so much good news in the last 3 months, but I really think what this market needs is something's got to be used. Like, one of these alts has to be used, man. Like, something's got to be used. And that's what's going to get people excited now. Because I think, everyone kind of knows, right? I mean, alts, you're just trying to sell them higher than the next person. But what's going to get people actually continuing to hold these things, right? Until they get high enough where it's like true euphoria. You need people to believe in them, right? So I still think, like, if you really want these alts to go nuts, and I've been saying this for a long time, you got to get one of these alts. Just one. It's only going to take one. You just need one of them to have some type of adoption where they're getting some type of use. You know what I mean? Bitcoin's a great store of value. It is what it is, right? Great store of value, great hedge against inflation. But like, we need like one of these utility coins to get used. And I think once you do, dude, you're going to see like the biggest pumps you've ever seen. But we just haven't seen it yet. Just haven't seen it yet. And if it's going to happen, dude, it's going to happen this year with all the shit that's happening. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen, but we're waiting. We're waiting. We're slowly waiting. Dude, Matic's making a new low, bro. Holy guacamole, man. Matic, new low, bro. Man. Holy shit. Someone's got a short out there and they're putting this song on. Load it. Load it. Load it. Load it. Crazy. Solana was used. Solana doesn't count, dude. Solana wasn't really used. Solana was used to buy other crypto. I'm talking about like used for something outside of crypto. All right, Solana was literally a casino for meme coins. It's not really a use case. I mean, it is. It's its own. It's a crypto use case. You literally just like Solana is used to buy other cryptos. What I mean by use case is like outside crypto, which may or may not, dude, it may never happen. Shit. But like that's what we need, man, at this point. Like it really is. Anyways, we're seeing shit come down again now. So once again, back to BTC. I'm gonna keep the squiggle. I think what we're gonna see over the next few days is probably a move back down, and I want to see this trend line hold. But I do think it's probably likely that we're gonna see this come back down to the lows again. And really want to see if we can hold this trend line. We're a double tap. Do we see another double tap? We haven't even tapped it yet. So we'll see what happens over the next few days. But this is probably what I expect to happen. Something like this. Friday is the event. Maybe the event marks a low. Maybe the event causes the move lower, right? Because it's not as good as everyone's expecting it to be. But I almost think everyone expects these events to be solely news events. So it's kind of one of these things. It's like, it's kind of what everyone expects now, right? Is anyone going into Friday like, right? It's almost like you go into these now because that's all it's been. It's just, we're going to dump after the event. Like it's like, that's what it is. But yeah, it's kind of what I expect, something like this. If it doesn't hold, well, we'll talk about it. Then we're probably going to come to this, these low 70Ks. If it does, all good in the world. Everyone get extremely fearful at the lows again. It's never comfy down here, man. It's never comfy down here. It is never. It wasn't comfy right here. It wasn't comfy right here. It wasn't comfy right here. It wasn't comfy here. Actually, no, actually it was kind of comfy right here. This wasn't very comfy. I remember that. This one actually wasn't that bad at the time. Definitely wasn't comfy. Definitely wasn't comfy down here. But here we are again, you know, we kind of come to this point where, okay, we're coming into this again. We're gonna, you know, not feeling too comfy coming into here. We'll see, man. ETH is going down, maybe dude, ETH is down 5% right now, bro. What? Lordy. Damn. Is ETH going to test our level right now, bro? I think ETH is going to test our level right now. Dead ass. 1945. That is a huge, I think even a monthly level. It's more like a weekly level. The big monthly level is a little bit lower. This monthly close, like 1940. That's a big monthly swing top from July 2023. Looks like ETH may be going there. Look. We'll see what happens though. I think like that's gonna be a big level for ETH there. Like that's a major previous resistance that you want to see hold as support. So we'll see. Anderson said, get the 50x longs ready. Get them out. Get them out. ETH going home. Probably is, man. I mean, at this point, dude, I mean, as soon as this broke, that was kind of like, that's really where you wanted to see ETH hold. Once that broke, ugh. That's why I really want to see Bitcoin hold this, man. I don't want to see Bitcoin break this. ETH coming down here on the weekly, coming into like the, you know, the high 1000s isn't that big of a deal, but Bitcoin holding in here is the big deal, man. That's the big deal. But yeah, 1900 on ETH, I think is a big level, big old level. Look at all these levels, man. Previous weekly highs, previous weekly lows. Previous weekly highs, weekly highs, right? I mean, look at that level. Look at that level, bro. You gotta get it. You gotta get some type of reaction right there, even if it's a little pussy bounce. You gotta get some reaction there, no? Even if it's a pussy bounce, could just be a pussy bounce. But yeah, I gotta think you gotta get some bounce there. If you don't, I mean, 1500 would probably come pretty quick. ETH to 0. I think everyone wants ETH to dump now. It's one of those things where I think everyone just like wants ETH to dump. It's kind of sad actually. But, you know, I know a lot of you guys watch Ben Cowan too. I mean, he has really some good takes, right? I like his take that, you know, obviously if ETH dumps, that's kind of a parameter of the market, right? ETH is a parameter of the market. So if ETH dumps down here, that's just going to show weakness in markets, right? So like you get ETH to come down here into, you know, in between, you know, 1500 and 1900, which really isn't that far away at this point, dude. I mean, you're right there. You're literally right there. Like it's not that far away. That just shows weakness in the market, and maybe that opens the doors to some interesting things coming here in the next few months. But yeah, you're not that far from this point, dude. You're right. You're literally right there. I think at this point, it's likely you're going to see 1900. Bitcoin, see if it follows the squiggle. I think we're going to go a little bit lower on BTC. sweep this low. But yeah, it does look like ETH is coming down, man. Waterfly just bought ETH. Lordy. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Any chance GRT reaches 40 cents again? We'll look at that. Killigan said got caught up in the hype and round trip to 1,400% long on Trump yesterday. Lordy, man. 1,400% long. GRT? I haven't looked at GRT. I haven't really looked at a lot of altcoin charts recently, man. Other than the ones that I've talked about. Oof. 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 Trendline break. Bearish retest. Oof. that sound effect makes it worse. Oof. Oof. Big money. Someone said big money wants in. We'll see. See what happens, man. Honestly, at this point, like I said, I wouldn't. I know, like, it's not like something that you want. Like, you're not gonna sit here and say, I want this to happen. But honestly, if we all ask ourselves, ETH has been a piece of shit. ETH has been a piece of flying shit for such a long time. I almost feel like an ETH capitulation, you know what I mean, would almost be a good thing. It would be a blessing in disguise. Not necessarily from the standpoint of, obviously you don't want prices to go down. But I almost feel like an ETH capitulation into this zone would almost be a good thing. I feel like it's been overdue. And I think if you get that true kind of like, right, into this zone, which I would assume, you're right inside the golden pocket right now. Where's the 786? Oh, man, the 786 is exactly at 1,500. Oh, man. It's exactly at 1,500. Of course it is. Why would it not be? Why would it not be? Let's get rid of all these. Oh, it's right there, dude. It's right at that level. Lord. He said steady, lads. It said ETH has been asked this whole time. ETH lately has just been like that coin that just like does not pump. Like the rest of the market, if it's green, it's good, and ETH just like doesn't do anything. It's brutal. But we'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really worried about Bitcoin. I'm not worried about Bitcoin from the standpoint of where it is still. Like where it is, Bitcoin is fine. From where it is, Bitcoin is fine. But still think it can come down here again. Right? This is the squiggle we had so far. Squiggle. The squiggle is squiggling. It is squiggling. How much would this be? We just swept the lows like it's like a 7% move on BTC. A 7% move on ETH. I mean, I would assume if Bitcoin went down 7%, ETH would also go down 7%. Would go down more than 7%. I don't think that's impossible. At 23 3% move on ETH to the downside if Bitcoin goes down 7. Sounds about right, actually. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Or we're all just getting played. We put on the fibs. And ETH is in the golden pocket. Maybe we're getting played. Eric Trump. Dude, the funny thing with Eric Trump. We're getting played. ETH is in the golden pocket and we're all getting played. We'll find out soon, I guess. But yeah, actually, if I'm looking at this chart, honestly, I personally, I might not get it. But if ETH capitulates here, I would probably buy some down here. And I haven't bought stuff in a while, dude. I haven't bought anything in a long time. I think the last buys I did was like XRP, Chainlink. That was a while ago. That was back here. What was that? That was like back here. Not back there. Dude, I'm on the weekly, dude. I'm on the weekly like I'm back in 2020. That was like on this move down. Like early December. I would take a stab. But only if I got like a little capitulation move down would I even think about that. But yeah, if I could get ETH down to that 786, I would nibble. I would nibble. I would take a little nibble. I would take a nice little nibble. Crow. Yeah, dude, Crow has been absolute dog shit. Crow has been absolute dog shit, man. I'm a community holder. I'm a community member on Crow, bro. Because I know if I sell Crow, it's going to moon. Maybe I should just do that for all you guys. I'll sell Crow. And I'll let you guys know that I sold it. And it'll moon. Crow has been an absolute piece of shit. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We might not get it. If we don't get it, then, you know, fuck it. ETH BTC hasn't taken the wick. ETH BTC. ETH Bitcoin. ETH BTC. Dude, this thing, I just don't. Where is this going? Where is this thing going? This is a level. Boop. Here. That's what you got those times. You got, 2017, walk. 2021, walk. And this time. Beep. Oh, man. Maybe it holds, though. Maybe we just got to double tap it. We double tapped it here. We single tapped it. We double tapped it. Maybe we got to triple tap it. Maybe we got to triple tap that shit. I don't know. Maybe we got to triple tap that shit. Oh, Lord. It'll go up once we go up. Once we all give up. Facts. Dude, I mean, look at Crow. I mean, I can make fun of myself. Shit, man. Crow. Dude, I would have sold this a while ago, but, I don't want you guys to troll me. Because I know as soon as I sell this thing, it'll actually go up. But I know it will. It would be exactly like 2021. But, yeah. Just look at this chart, dude. Like, that is brutal, man. That is freaking brutal, bro. Like, that is brutal, dude. Where did I buy Crow? Like, here? I was saying, I'm a community member on Crow. But, you know, here's the thing. You know, we'll be a community member for a little bit. But honestly, like if I'm even as someone who is in Crow, if I'm looking at this chart, dude, I'm just looking at this chart right now. Like you got this level, and then you got this level. If I'm just looking at this, this probably wants to go here at the very least. If I'm just looking at the chart, like I'm just looking at the 3 higher highs, the equal lows. Wouldn't be surprised if it taps 7 cents. If I'm just looking at it from completely unbiased perspective, probably wants to go there again. Anderson said, I'm holding since 5 cents, and I'm not even proud of that. What are you going to do, dude? What are you going to do? Yeah, I'm a community member. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But even as someone who holds it, would I be surprised if it went here? No. I would not be surprised. I would not be shocked. What time is it? 9? Oh, gosh. Oh, man, I would love to stay on and watch ETH go home with you guys. I would love to stay on and watch ETH go home with you. But it's about that time for you, boy. It's about that time for you, boy. Where's the pi cycle top now? Oof. That's a good question. Let's bring that up. The pi cycle top. Let's see. Dude, it's at the same level. It's actually starting to turn down now. It's starting to curve to the downside. Not quite yet, but it's still right around that same level. Right around. I mean, I thought what was going to happen is we had the 2618 Fibonacci and the green pi cycle top. So still, like if you want the pi cycle top to work, you got to think that Bitcoin's at least got to go above 150K. If you think the pi cycle top is going to work again. And we still got a lot of time in the post-election year. I mean, there's still 9 months. A lot can happen in 9 months. So, we'll see, man. But right now, it's at 149 to 780. But obviously, you got to get above it for them to cross. Obviously. Oh! Shit. All right, guys. I'm going to call it. Hope you guys all have a good night. I'll probably be back on tomorrow. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow, 7 p.m. We'll see where we end up tomorrow, guys. I wouldn't be shocked once again, kind of continue to see a little bleeding. It's kind of what we talked about in today's stream. Wouldn't be surprised, once again, Bitcoin does something like this, right? Come down, take out the low, and then we kind of go from there, right? So, catch you guys tomorrow. Everyone have a good night. Peace out. Much love. And we'll see where we are at tomorrow in the next one. I'm going to go watch some basketball. And hopefully ETH doesn't go home. Actually, you know, I wouldn't really care if ETH goes home. But, yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, peace out. Much love, guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.